Welcome, friends of the Greasy Shop Rag. Today we're looking at part 2 of the bed slide build for the big ass station wagon Yukon XL. So since the last video, I've got about 2 afternoons of time stuck into this, and I have the slide mechanism itself done. So what we have is a 3-section slide. The top section here is drilled for the plywood to bolt down, and that slides inside of this I-beam right here, and the I-beam then is riding on bearings on this base angle iron. I had a few bearings left over, so I double stacked them in a couple critical spots along the way where there'd be high load, and I had to add some bump stops to this thing so it won't be jolting around making a bunch of noise or whatever. I got a bump stop right here on the back of the top piece. There's one down here on the I-beam, and then there's another bump stop right over here for the top piece. When it's all the way open, it's going to hit that big nut right there. So I've never built a bed slide before. I've never even seen a bed slide in person or touched one, and I'm not working with any plans. So there was a lot of knockdown, drag out, brawling going on with the voices in my head, and we were duking it out, trying to figure out exactly how to build this thing. Yeah, that was kind of bullshit, but I think we came to a decent compromise. So I had to come up with a way to latch this in place so that, say if I was parked uphill and I open a lift gate, we don't want this thing just spilling out into the stream. I got the stops on here to keep it from coming apart, but I needed a latching mechanism to hold it open and closed. So this handle right here is just this rod. I do have a tab welded on here with a hole in it, and that's going to get a spring. That spring will run up and be screwed to the bottom of the plywood that's bolted on the top here. But this rod runs the whole length, and you can see it's just got a L shape on the end. And then I've got these wedges. Alright, so the rod's caught behind the wedge. When I turn the handle, it'll move this way, and then it'll clear the wedge. When it goes to close, it'll hit the wedge, and the spring will let it flop open and it'll latch in there. So now if I want to open it up, I can just lift the handle, and as I pull it open, the first stop that I have is right here in the middle, so I could latch it right here, and we're about halfway open right now, maybe just a little bit more than half. And if I want to open it the rest of the way, I just lift the lever, pull it open, and it'll latch right here. It'll catch, and that'll hold it in open position. So if I'm loading or unloading this thing, it's not moving around. So I think that's going to work out all right. Now, this is pretty heavy. If I want to take this out and maybe add my third row of seating, I'm going to have to, let me open this back up. I got this bump stop right here. So I can just crawl underneath of this thing because it has cleared the back of the vehicle. When this thing's all the way open. Let's see, let me grab this latch. When it's all the way open like this, you can see that the top section that the plywood's bolted to has cleared the base angle iron. So I could just crawl underneath here and take this big nut off, and then that would allow this top section to pull right out, and that's going to have the plywood on it. It's going to weigh enough by itself. So I could do it in 2 pieces. Technically I could do it in 3 pieces, but I don't think the combination of the base angle and the I-beam, you know, is going to be that bad. So if I just lift this lever up, I can run this all the way down, close this. So I think that's going to work. I'm pretty excited to get it in the back of the Yukon and see how it feels. I want to sit on the end of this and see how much weight it can handle. I think the weak point is going to be the edges of the I-beam. You know, I tried to hold the bearings as close to the center as I could. I don't know. I mean, I never built anything like that, so we'll just have to see what happens. So on part 3 of this video that's going to follow, you'll see the woodworking portion of this build. I don't know yet if I'm going to do like a bed liner, a carpet, a rubber mat. I don't know. I guess we'll both find out at the same time. Thanks for watching. Later.